We're gonna say this is a conspiracy theory. Let's just put it like that because it's such a sensitive topic, and I have so much respect for like Nip. You know, um, so I'm gonna like naturally I'm gonna watch what I say. Plus the fact that I'm gonna even take the fact out that he's not here no more in the physical. It's just even if he was, I just had respect for him even before all that stuff. Like I was listening to him before. I was one of those people that I was a fan of the music before everybody else got hip to him after what happened to him. Like, I was a fan of the music way before, like years before all of that stuff. All right. So Lauren London's name got mentioned um in the Diddy case with the freak offs. But if you go to the first episode that we had done on this channel with Buddy's World, on the Buddy's World series, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but we didn't go too deep into it, right? But all these things is like domino effect kind of things where the dominoes are falling, and as people get hip to stuff more, we put the puzzle together more, but it's about timing. So Lauren London's name mentioned that she was at the freak off. And a lot of people don't know how to talk about this stuff. They just feel like don't talk about it at all. I think Nip knew. To what extent Nip knew, I don't know though. But I think Nip knew, at least what I mean is I think he knew she like she moved a certain way when it comes to certain things, like private things, And I feel like Nip was a certain type of guy too, as far as in his private life. And I don't think he cared too much. Of course, there's always a line, but I don't think like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's just like cool. Like she's into that stuff to a certain level. Like he probably appreciated some of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mean it like that, but you know what I mean? Like someone who kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate maybe, I'm not saying freak offs, but bro is probably like, you know what I'm saying? Like he probably liked certain things. Like even the video that Wack, I'm tripping. Wack accused Nip of participating, that he claims he has on Nip. It's like, I'm not saying the video is real or whatever. I'm just saying if you put two and two together, it's like, okay, I don't think bro is tripping about all that stuff that much. But again, to what extent he knew, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I would say about Lauren is, and the Diddy connection, Kodak already said something about this stuff before, bro. If you remember when Nip died, Kodak was saying how he would give Lauren a couple years to heal, but he definitely want to go smack at her. He definitely want to talk to her. And everybody got mad. And a lot of guys who used to go to the freak offs came out, got mad at him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you can't say that. And then Kodak came back and responded like, bro, why y'all mad at me? Like, less than a year after Nip died, like, she was with Diddy. Diddy was with her. Nobody said nothing to Diddy. Kodak said that. But people were so mad at him. Oh, you gotta apologize. But Kodak said that. This is out there. He said that, and I remember hearing it. But again, at that time, it's like with Nip, it's such a sensitive topic that negative things, like, people try to, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's respect, but it's also the fact that he's not here no more. But a lot of it has to do with just respect. Because when you move a certain way and people look at you a certain way, the other side of your life too, where it's like, I'm not gonna say you're not perfect, but people might judge it where like they feel like somebody who moved this way should not move that way. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy, but that's just how people feel. So they'll try to like kind of like put a blanket over it. It's just like that side doesn't even exist, But we all human beings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then Nip was all over. I mean, Diddy was all over Nip's Victory Lap. He was all over that album, bro. He was all over that album. You know what I'm saying? And apparently, they're saying Lauren set that up. So the connection with Lauren and Diddy has always been there. She even plugged in Nip into that, bro, as far as with Diddy. And then now there's videos coming out of all of them in the studios, and people are seeing the dynamic between everybody. And it's like, bro, you could kind of tell that even the way Diddy is talking to Lauren is a certain way, where it's just like they already had a rapport. Like, you know what I'm saying? And when you go deep too into the Lauren thing, how did Lauren meet Nip? Apparently, it was her that wanted to meet him. From what I heard, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like this is how it goes in the game sometimes. Like, if you coming up, like there's guys and there's girls who are already at like a certain level, or they hang around people who are a certain level. They're part of a certain circle of people, right? That might be viewed as the elevator to a certain level. And then everybody else who's not so-called on that level, that's elevating on you coming up, they look at them and think, if there's one of them that I want, there's one of them that's getting my attention, they feel like they could go and grab that, bro. And like, you know what I'm saying? Not in that sense, but in that sense at the same time, where they feel like, okay, like I could go grab that and have that under me, or have fun with that. And if I want to pass that around, I could pass that around. If I want to keep that, I could keep that. It's just how it goes, bro. It's just like, it's like being a freshman. Like, you're a freshman and there's upperclassmen, they might feel like, oh, there's a new joint out there. Like, I'm trying to go, like, yeah, just, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like with Lauren, she was already rubbing shoulders with certain people at a certain level. And Nip popped up. And then if you look at Lauren, who was the love of her life? And it's so funny, the irony. It's funny how this nigga, like, Pac has been dead for so long, but his name always pops up in all these things, especially when it comes to Diddy, bro. The love of Lauren London's life is not even Nip. It's Tupac. That's who she loves, bro. She loves Tupac, bro. And I feel like part of the aesthetic of her going to mess with Nip was because of maybe the similarities she felt with Nip and Pac, which would explain even why she would try to get Diddy to help Nip, to elevate Nip to that stature that Pac was in. You know what I'm saying? She loved Pac, bro. And I know it for a fact that's part of the reason why she went to mess with Nip. She saw some similarities. And even after that, when she started messing with Nip, I could tell where it was just like, there's certain statements Nip made where it was just almost like, you can't be with me and be on that, like, that heavy Pac stuff, how you love Pac so much, because it's like you with me, like, you know what I'm saying? But then again, she was around Diddy and stuff, and I feel like Diddy loved Pac too, in ways that people probably won't even understand. But now that Diddy's lifestyle is being exposed, I feel like people get it. It wasn't that he hated Pac. I feel like to a certain degree, he loved Pac, bro. And part of the hate that he developed for Pac was the fact that he couldn't have him. And he wanted to be like Pac. Even after Pac died, he was trying to be like Pac. And he wanted Pac, bro. It's like, that's what people, it's like some gangsterlicious stuff, bro. He wanted Pac, bro. Like, he wanted Pac, bro. Like, a lot of people, like even in that Kim Porter book, I don't know if it's real or not, but yet you could tell it's kind of insinuated in that, but he wanted Pac, bro. Like, he wanted him, bro. Like, that's the type of guy Diddy is. And then everybody who loves Pac, if he can go and be with them in some type of way, shape, or form, it's almost like He feels like he's in that energy. But anyways, so the thing with Lauren, what I would say is, and like Diddy and all those guys in that circle, that Nip was kind of like almost on his way to being around that kind of stuff. I don't know how much Nip understood about those people and the things they were into, as far as even spiritual things that they're into. It's like it's I don't know, but around those group of people, it's not just some music and all that stuff. It's a lifestyle they live, and there's a lot of things they're into, bro. Like, just to like microscope into just the spiritual side of things, the spiritual things that they're into, like as far as their lifestyle and the things that they believe. You know what I'm saying? And I know certain spots that Nip used to like frequent, and these spots are like spiritual lodges or some stuff like that, bro. Like, and like I've never been to any of these like things, but I know people who have been like, who have heard a word or two about these stuff, you know. And Nip used to like go to these places. I'm not saying he knew and he was partaking in those stuff, because he ended up passing away. So that kind of makes me feel like either he didn't know or whatever. But it leans more towards he didn't know, or he didn't know what extent all this stuff was, or he wasn't with none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying Lauren is into all this stuff, but she rubs shoulders with people who are into a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So even with the shoot that they did right before he was gone, even the so-called last song he did before he was gone, is like, it seems like a coincidence to people, but let's just say, like I said, all this stuff is, everything I'm saying is a so-called conspiracy theory, bro. But let's just say some of this stuff is not a coincidence. It's like real. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe she didn't know either, but it seems like she manifested Nip, bro. It's like she manifested Nip through Pac. And I'm not saying Nip, Diddy, and Lauren had a freak off with Cassie or whatever. I'm just saying, like, they wrote that book, the Kim Porter book, and in that book, Pac turned down Diddy's invitation to have a freak off with her and Kim Porter. But apparently Pac either smashed Kim Porter before it was smashing Kim Porter. But if Lauren manifested Nip, I'm just saying maybe there was a possibility that Diddy wanted to have a freak off with Lauren and Nip. If she manifested Nipsey through Pac, is a possibility that Diddy would have wanted to partake in something with Nip and Lauren. And based on what Wack is saying, and I'm not saying to listen to what Wack is saying, because Wack and Nip didn't like each other. At least Wack didn't like Nip. So everything he says is like, even if it's true or even if it's a lie, there's like a history between the two of them. So I don't know. But he says he has the tape of Nip partaking in something with his old baby moms and another guy. And then so you can imagine that maybe there's a possibility that you could switch the other guy with Diddy, and switch his baby moms with his new baby moms, Lauren. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying Nip did any of this stuff. I'm not saying he was into all this stuff. I'm just saying it's all crazy. But that's Buddy's world. Welcome to Buddy's world.